The janitor who became a millionaire. Let me tell you about Richard Montañez. You've probably never heard his name, but I guarantee you've seen his work. Today, Richard is worth millions. But his story? It started in the most unexpected place. Richard grew up poor in Southern California, really poor. His family lived in a small house with no indoor plumbing. As a kid, he picked grapes in the fields to help his family survive. He dropped out of school in fourth grade. He couldn't read or write properly. Everyone told him he'd never amount to anything. At 18, he needed a job, any job. He applied to be a janitor at a Frito-Lay factory, mopping floors, cleaning toilets, minimum wage. Most people would be embarrassed. Not Richard. On his first day, his grandfather told him something he never forgot. Make sure that floor shines. Make sure it's the cleanest floor anybody's ever seen. Because if you do, they'll give you more. So, Richard decided to become the best janitor Frito-Lay had ever seen. One day in 1976, Richard noticed something. The assembly line broke down. Bags of Cheetos were coming out without cheese powder. They were just plain, unflavored puffs. Richard took some home, and he had an idea. His neighborhood was Mexican. Everyone loved spicy food. What if Cheetos could be spicy too? What if there were Mexican-style Cheetos? His wife helped him. They bought chili powder from the local market. They sprinkled it on the plain Cheetos. They shook them in a bag. One taste, that's all it took. Richard knew he had something special, but here's the problem. He was just a janitor. Who would listen to him? Most people would have given up right there. I'm nobody. They won't listen to me. Not Richard. He found out the CEO of Frito-Lay was visiting the factory. So Richard did something crazy. He called the CEO's office directly. Hello, this is Richard Montañez from the Rancho Cucamonga plant. I have an idea for a new product I'd like to share with the CEO. The secretary was shocked, a janitor calling the CEO, but she put him through. The CEO said, okay, Richard, you've got 2 weeks. Prepare a presentation. Now, Richard had a huge problem. He'd never done a presentation in his life. Remember, he dropped out in fourth grade. He could barely read. But he didn't quit. Richard went to the library. He checked out books on marketing. His wife read them to him at night. He watched how salespeople dressed on TV. He borrowed a tie. He bought poster boards from the dollar store. He hand-drew charts and graphs. He practiced his presentation in front of his family every single night for 2 weeks. His kids helped him. His wife encouraged him. His community rallied around him. The day came. Richard walked into that boardroom wearing his borrowed tie and carrying his handmade presentation boards. The executives looked at each other. Who was this janitor? Richard started talking. He told them about his neighborhood, about how Mexican families loved spicy food, about the huge untapped market they were missing. He passed around the samples, the spicy Cheetos his wife had helped him make. The room went silent. Then, the executives started smiling. They loved it. Flamin' Hot Cheetos launched in 1992. It became one of the most successful products in Frito-Lay history. Billions of dollars in sales. It created an entire new category of snacks. Richard, he went from janitor to executive. He became the VP of Multicultural Sales and Community Promotions. He's given speeches at Harvard, MIT, and hundreds of companies worldwide, all because he refused to stay in his place. Here's what Richard says now. I didn't have an MBA. I had a GED from the streets, a Ghetto Education diploma. But I had something more important. I wasn't afraid to fail. Think about that. A fourth grade dropout, a janitor, created a billion-dollar product. What does that tell you? Your current position doesn't determine your future. Your education doesn't limit your potential. Your circumstances don't define your destiny. What matters is this. Do you have an idea? And are you brave enough to act on it? Richard could have stayed quiet. I'm just a janitor. Nobody will listen. But he didn't. He saw an opportunity. He took action. He risked rejection. And it changed his entire life. So here's my question for you. What idea are you sitting on right now? What dream are you too scared to chase? What's stopping you from making that call, starting that project, taking that risk? Maybe you think you're not qualified. Richard had a fourth grade education. Maybe you think you're too old or too young. Richard was mopping floors at 18. Maybe you think people won't take you seriously. Richard was a janitor calling the CEO. None of those excuses held him back. So why should they hold you back? I want you to do something today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Take one small action toward your dream. Make one phone call, send one email, create one sample, practice one skill. Just one action, that's all. Because here's the truth. Richard didn't become a millionaire in one day. He became a millionaire by taking one brave action, then another, then another. Every great success story starts with someone ordinary deciding to do something extraordinary. Richard Montañez was mopping floors. Now he's inspiring millions. What's your story going to be? Don't let your current circumstances stop you. Don't let fear win. Don't let "I'm not qualified" keep you from trying. You have ideas, you have potential, you have something unique to offer the world. The question is, are you brave enough to show it? Go out there, take action, make it happen. Your flamin' hot moment is waiting. Now go get it.